Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of Marc and Friends podcast featuring David Green. David Green is not only one of my really good friends and one of the funniest people I know, but he's also one of the hardest working comedians I know. David spends a lot of time going across Ontario performing, and also spends a lot of his time giving back to the community with charities and fundraisers. He plans and promotes and prepares these fundraisers, spends a lot of his own time giving back to not only the community but to the comics within that community, starting a lot of shows and providing as much stage time as possible to up-and-coming comedians like myself. So David Green means a lot, not only to me but to a lot of comics in the area. If you've seen comedy in Southern Ontario, chances are you've seen David Green. He's very, very hilarious. He's the pun master, and we have a lot of fun on the show. We've been good friends for a number of years, so naturally, we click pretty well. We gel pretty well. If we played hockey, we would definitely be on the same line. Put it that way. Me and David, we get along. We get along great. We talk a bit about our origins in comedy and how we fell in love with it, as well as we talk about a lot of the other good things that are happening, like his show, Live on Queen with David Green. Very fantastic. Check that out on YouTube, Live on Queen. Google that, throw that in on YouTube, watch a lot of his skits, as well as full episodes of his shows. He just finished filming his most recent episode on Monday, so he should have that up in a few days. And yeah, guys, enjoy the podcast. And also, we talk about Showtime Comedy, so definitely check out Showtime Comedy and Entertainment online. Find some of your local comedians, some of your local favorite comedians and international headliners come out to that club. So definitely check them out online to see when your favorite comic is going to be coming into town next. And enjoy the show, guys. Once again, this is my really good buddy, Mr. David Green.
Boop a doop boop 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 a doop boop boop bop bop boop a doop boop boop bop bop. It's time for Marc and Friends. It's time again.
You sure the chair's good? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. All right. We're recording. I turned it on. We started. Got you off guard.
It's a great chair.
It is a good chair.
I'm loving it.
It's wooden.
That's
That's like a decent amount of someone's life is in that chair, and I would just sit getting covered with blankets and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
I have a splinter.
Oh no!
I'm
What
kidding.
happened?
I'm kidding. It's
my
a great
God.
chair. It's a wonderful chair.
Oh my God! I thought you had another. Got it from the gorge or something like that. You got a lot of sun. You've been in the gorge.
I have.
lately.
I've been outside, gorging around.
Gorging it up.
Yep.
Amazing, incredible, and you, of course, just fresh from filming another episode of your show Live on Queen with David Green this past Monday. How did that go?
It was so much fun. Awesome crowd again. That's the best. Just even before the show starts, just looking around, seeing all the people in the crowd. And it's so many regulars too.
Amazing.
It's who he has been before, and almost 90%
That's
of the crowd
awesome.
start cheering.
That's exactly
it's great to have
what you
that much kind of support downtown Niagara Falls.
So just kind of explain to people a little bit about the show for those who aren't aware.
It is basically Jimmy Fallon with no budget. Basically, it's a Niagara Falls talk show. So it's like a late night talk show, but done by Niagara for Niagara. Just a bunch of friends getting together,
Amazing.
making videos, putting on sketches.
Yeah, they're hilarious, man. You have it all on YouTube, of course.
Yeah.
And it's just Live on Queen. They can find it on
Yeah,
YouTube.
just YouTube, Google Live on Queen.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And a lot of funny stuff. Of course, you and our good friend Jeff Stroop. How long have you known Jeff Stroop
I've known
for?
Jeff Stroop since 2007 when I first moved to Niagara.
Okay, and I want to know the first time you met him.
I saw him at the House of Comedy performing, and I thought, oh, this guy is awful. this man, he's got an amazing mustache.
No,
Same
one?
I didn't think
it's the exact same one?
Oh, yeah. Jeff Stroop did not change at all. I think he came out of the womb with a mustache, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Does he so the first time you met him, was his shirt on or was it off?
Oh, no, it was on. It was on. He was doing all these famous bits, the Teletubbies bit and Super Size the Fries. And
I love it.
Yeah. It was great. He was a legend already. People were talking about this Jeffrey Stroop. He's been around
this
for
guy
years.
Is. I love Jeff. And what about your history with comedy? When did it all begin for you?
First, the time when I met Jeff Stroop, that was my first show in Canada, my third show ever. I performed 2 shows before that in England.
And how did those go? How was that? What was that like?
That was good. It was scary.
Yeah.
Scary. I had a good friend in England who signed me up for a competition because he knew I wanted to try it. But he knew I was writing, but I didn't have the guts to do it.
Yeah.
So he signed us both up. He's like, we're on the show in like next week, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's like a Band-Aid, just right away.
Yeah,
It's next week.
Yeah. So it was like panic. So we drove to Leicester.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
City of Champions
Wow.
now. Yeah, drove to Leicester. Where my first ever gig was.
Leicester, Australia. No.
New Zealand.
Yeah. Sorry.
East of Wellington.
Dude. No, obviously England here, but yeah. Sorry, go on.
And I got halfway through and like completely, like my brain
froze.
Like I was like terrified, absolutely chest beating.
Oh my, yeah,
sweating.
man. Yeah.
Brain went
course.
blank. Couldn't remember anything. I'm just They said they'd flash you a light at 5 minutes when your time was up, and I'm just begging, looking around, please, where is the light so I can just stop. And then, I guess I got a couple of laughs, but then I went to the washroom late afterwards and came back in. As I was walking back in, the MC or compere, as they call it over there.
So much fancier.
Yeah.
That's way of course, right?
There's no way
so
to
much
compare
fancier.
the two. No, as I'm walking back in, Tony King, his name, and he was like, "Oh, I like some of your stuff. Like, do you want to come do a show for me tomorrow?" And if the timing of me walking out, him walking in, if that we didn't hand that counter, I may not have ever done it again because I felt awful after the first show.
And then just doing it tomorrow is that old like just get right back on the horse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I went home and I'm like, this is a real gig because the one night before was just like a competition with like 15 different guys, and then the next day I was opening for him on like a pro show.
Amazing.
And it went much better.
It went really well. And then so you came to, say, fast forward, you started doing comedy in Niagara Falls.
Yes.
How many years later is this?
A year and a bit later.
A year and a bit later? Okay. And you went right to the House of Comedy, you saw it, you're like, this is the place. Or did someone tell you about it?
Well, what happened, originally, I think the first time I went to sign up, I got there and I didn't know anybody, and I was supposed to perform, and then I ran away scared before I came to actually performing, and I was like, I gotta go, sorry, I'll be back next time.
Oh,
and
man.
then the next time I got the courage to do it, and then I started meeting other people.
Amazing. Yeah, there's a nice little scene here, and a lot of those guys go back a lot longer than I do. I'm one of the new guys, man. I'm just
fresh meat.
I'm trying to figure it all out still, you know. And I remember because I've always wanted to do it my whole life, right? I don't know when was your first like exposure to stand up? Like, how old were you? Like,
first time I ever saw a live stand up comedy show was when I was 15 in high school in Oakville in an assembly at school. It was Gord Painter, a blind comedian.
Really?
Yeah, and that was the first time I remember seeing it live.
You can get so many bits out of that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's pretty bad when you're like, you don't even feel bad for the guy. You're kind of jealous of him. Like, oh, man.
He was very funny.
Yeah,
but at the time, I remember my friend John at the time, he was talking about how he wanted to be a comedian when he grew up, and he went to speak to ask him for advice and everything. And I didn't cross my mind at any point while watching him. That's what I wanted to do, but that's definitely the first time I remember seeing it live.
And then, like, were you ever television? Like, did you ever watch it on TV as a kid? Or?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, and then when I got older, just listening to CDs and stuff like that, Jerry Seinfeld, and then reading books. Like when I first really got into stand up, it was books and reading jokes online is what really got into it. Like George Carlin's books.
Yeah, like biographies or just like
was it Napalm and Silly Putty?
Okay.
Was the first, and then Brain Droppings. And it's just a collection of his stand-up bits, but put in book form.
Amazing.
And I'd never heard of George Carlin before this. And I'm like reading. I'm like, this is like Jerry Seinfeld kind of stuff, but years before Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, he's a whole generation older than the older generation. Like he's far removed.
But he was still going as well, doing stuff at the same time. But it was just opened up a whole new world to me, and I just started taking out autobiographies and reading and learning, and then.
Amazing. And then I met you at work one day.
Yep.
Yeah, and I remember exactly how it went. You're like, oh, I got a gig later tonight. And I also love like music and instruments and stuff, so I instantly thought you were a musician. Yeah. And I was like, oh, what do you play? Like, what do you like? You look like a bass player. I see you like just like slamming, you know, like oh, like this guy plays bass. And you're like, no, I'm a comedian. And I was instantly it's like, oh my god, like I've never met like someone who just does comedy on the side. And I was just like, you know, I only ever like, you know, it was so like stupid of me. I only believe like, you know, there's like professional comedians and things like that. Like, I was just so narrow-minded about it at the time. Yeah. But I've been writing for years, and I've always wanted to try it. And you told me to come down to the Celtic, and that's where it all started down there.
Yep.
And it was...
I still have a picture of you on my phone from your first ever gig. I remember
that was rough.
Yeah.
That was rough.
No, it went well.
It went good, but like I remember like I've did so much research before, and like obviously like all the documentaries, like all the comics, like yeah, it's really tough with the you know what I mean? Like everyone says that, right? So you really expect it. So I wasn't expecting like to go out there and just like drop the mic to like a standing ovation or something like that. So I remember leaving and being like, yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if you ever did this, but like when I first started, I would lie to people and tell them like, "Oh, I'm just going to my buddy's house," so that no one knew I was doing stand-up.
No, I hated people coming to see me. My family's seen me maybe I don't know, not many times.
It's hard. It's different. It's really different, and it's one thing if it's like I love like my friends and family coming, but sometimes when it's just like, you know, sometimes you just have. You know, like grandma comes, and you're like, I say that stuff in front of grandma? Like, come on. No, grandma doesn't. Because I'm two different people in front of grandma, you know? Like I
love performing for your grandma. My grandma's a different story.
But man, like that's something that is really strange. And the first time I performed for my parents, it was very nerve-wracking. Very nerve-wracking. Because I got picked on a lot as a little kid. And I was a very sensitive child. And I think I've grown out of that. Yeah. And now I like to make fun of myself and my humor. And I just knew my mom was going to be like, oh, my God, like, stop. What are you talking about? Like, I could literally hear her, like, between, I'm going to say, like, you know, I'm not going to say laughs, like, chuckles. Yeah. I could hear her go, oh. Like, just, like, I could hear her. I know no one else could, but I know. You know, you just know someone so well.
Do you ever make eye contact with while you perform telling jokes? Like if there's somebody in the crowd who I know, like a specific person, I'll just try to avoid.
And if you look at them, they're not smiling or anything, or they're just kind of looking at you. And you're
I can't feel the disappointment if I don't look them in the eyes.
Oh no, yeah, it's terrible. I remember we were just talking about like we first started getting into comedy and stuff, and I watched comedy at Club 54 as a kid every day after school. I missed the first like 5-10 minutes of it because I would just get off like a little too late. But I would always watch the last 20 minutes of it, and I always loved Ben Guyett. And I finally got to perform with Ben Guyett, and I just bombed so hard. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's life, man. And of course, the whole time of bombing, I'm just looking at this guy and being like, 10-year-old Mark would be so mad at me right now.
Now, there is a large percentage of working comedians in Ontario who have bombed with Ben Guyett. I put the averages up there. I know that.
I was just like, oh man, it's just one of those guys. You're like, you just gotta want to do. Obviously, want to do good every show, but we just have someone that like you recognize and you know, you're like, oh, I gotta do something here, you know.
It's just one show. It's like somebody made an analogy on Facebook that I was reading the other day about feeling bad after a rough show. And then she compared it to like the Blue Jays last year, how they won 93 games, but they also lost like 70 or 60 something games. Like you go through, but it's a successful season, it's a success, but you got to take the bad with the good.
Of course. So not only you're a pretty busy guy, like you do a lot of shows and you're driving around all over. You go like where have you been lately? You've gone to like Northern Ontario and like
I was in Kirkland Lake. Up north,
Kirkland Lake. Is that like the home of like Kirkland, like the Costco?
No, it's a gold mining town. So it's Harry Oakes who owned Niagara Falls, guys. That's where he's from.
Oh, really?
He made his fortune at a gold mine and then bought Niagara Falls.
The other gold mine.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls Tourism, the other gold mine.
Baden, Ontario. That's where I was a couple of nights ago too. I did a gig at 1:15 in the morning.
Wow, how was that?
It was good, a lot of fun. It was a Relay for Life fundraiser.
Everyone was wide awake. Everyone was fired up.
I followed Zumba. I show up there, and it's 200 kids, high school kids, Zumbaing their hearts out on crazy in the middle of a football field
at like
midnight. Stage set up, yeah. And then my set was from 1:15 to 2 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. So the Relay for Life. It was from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. A 12-hour non-stop.
Amazing.
Relay for Life fundraiser to raise money for.
You guys, everything was successful.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Amazing,
and that's super nice people too.
And like that's another thing that I'd never even thought of before I got into comedy is like how many opportunities you get to give back to the community, and it's so cool. And I love doing and like wow, like I'm really making a difference. I'm saying like I'm saying like poop jokes and stuff, but like I'm like
you're making people laugh and you're raising money for a great cause.
It's so cool. It's that's one thing I never even thought about. And you do so much for not only for me as a young comedian, but a lot of the up and coming comics in Niagara and so much in Southern Ontario. You also host amateur comedy night at Showtime Comedy and Entertainment on St. Paul Street in St. Catharines. Like, how's that going? You guys just moved move nights and
Yeah. We switched from we're going every other Wednesday, but we switched it to every other Thursday, so they can be open every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just for more consistency.
Love it.
And yeah, the show they've been so much fun. Like it's just like the amount. I think we've had maybe 8 or 9 first timers do it since it opened.
Yeah,
like go on and then.
But I mean, I look at some of the lineups some night. I'm like, you can't call this amateur night. These guys are like they got killers on there.
Yeah,
some
like,
nights.
yeah.
Like,
Tomorrow night we got Jason Allen, we got Doug Koenig coming down, Kevin Abram, Levi's gonna come do a set. Like
that's a for those of you who don't know any of those comics, shame on you. Because those guys are all killers, and if you have to check some of these guys out, and you have to check out David too. So Showtime, tell everyone a little bit about Showtime and exactly what's going on there. And
it's movie starring Robert De Niro and Eddie Murphy. It's about it's downtown.
It's actually not a bad movie.
I've not seen it. I want
it's like they record like it's like on a show, right?
It's a show.
Yeah, I think they're like cops. It's like a real life cops.
Yes,
yeah. Sorry, but anyways, back to the actual comedy club. I forgot about that movie. That's a good one. But sorry.
So it's downtown St. Paul Street. My good buddy Marc Dinos and his friend Matt Sherman.
Yeah,
got together.
Great guys.
Opened up a comedy club. There's not been a comedy club in St. Catharines, and the one independent club in the Falls closed down a few years ago.
Yep.
So the market was there and found a great location right downtown, and everything was brand new, state of the art.
And another 2 guys that do a lot for the comedy community around here, and it's really growing, and it's really catching on. And I don't know about you, but whenever I bring I have a lot of friends that still haven't come to see me, and then every show some new friends come for the first time, and they always say the same thing, like, wow, like I didn't realize like how great these comics are. Because stand up, to people that aren't like involved in it or are fans of it, they just think, okay, there's like the best stand-up comedians in the world, and then everyone else is just trash. But I don't understand that there's guys that are just doing cafes in Brantford,
and they're out there night after night after night,
and they're unreal, and they're so good. And I'm so lucky that I get to see these guys some nights, and blessed because I think of their jokes all the time. I'm like, oh, it just brings me so much joy.
Yeah, it's inspiring too. Like spurs you on, and you see people how they're improving. It's amazing too, where you watch people do
grow,
bit, and then you watch here how he a few weeks later he's added a line, and he's added a line here, and you to watch it firsthand craft into this awesome bit. And you're like,
it's
I remember
beautiful.
When he first
that's beautiful to me. It's just like, wow, that's so incredible, and I love it. And like there's nothing, and to me it's like there's almost something therapeutic about it, because when I make fun of something like stupid that I think that I only do, and I say it, and like the whole crowd laughs, I'm like, wait, you guys do it too? It's not just like there's something really therapeutic about doing stand up as well. And like this scene has grown so much from just from the days that I first started.
It's crazy now.
It's not even like just Niagara, like Brantford is exploding right now.
And London as well.
London, there's a lot of things going on. Hamilton is massive.
Yeah.
Is massive, and of course Toronto is Toronto, but there's all these smaller communities that are just blowing up, and it's so exciting to see. You feel like I always hear about like the comedy booms like the late 80s and the 90s. Can you see that kind of happening again right now, like with the internet and people being able to get their stuff out there a little bit? Like, I feel like
obviously it's different now, but I think that
not everyone's just getting sitcoms. You like write one good joke, it's like sitcom. That's not happening anymore. But I mean, I feel like there's a lot of really good comedians out there, and I think it's a really exciting time to.
And that's why it's like. That's what's exciting too, just about because the internet is like that we can put on a show like Live on Queen talk show and just do everything else and just put it on.
That's crazy.
It's out there now.
It's awesome.
Out there forever. If anybody wants to watch it,
it's awesome, and it's really coinciding. Like, and it's happening in Niagara Falls too with the downtown core, but more so the St. Catharines. There's St. Catharines downtown. It's almost like this like renaissance happening with a lot of these small businesses opening up, and this like it's all about local and Showtime just kind of really for being a comedy club falls right into that, like locally sourced, it's organic, like it's just like it's just it falls right in perfectly with all that, and it's a great time to have that up and running. So anything else you want to plug? Anything? Where are you going to be, David? Where are you?
Tomorrow night I am hosting the Amateur Night Showtime. And then I'm emceeing there this weekend. It's got Mark Trinidad, who's one of my favorites.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
he's so
such
good.
a nice guy too.
He's great. He's such a great guy.
Just as hilarious off stage as he is on stage.
Yeah, he's just one of those personalities that you're like, oh man, this guy's actually funny.
Yeah.
This guy's like because when people meet me, they're like, you're a comedian, and it's like, yeah, I'm funny sometimes. Like like I'm just not funny right now. But when someone like Mark, he's always on. Eh? Like it's unbelievable. He's great. He just brings so much energy to the table every single time. He's awesome. And that's another guy that I did that show that fundraiser for the Humane Society. Yeah, it didn't go the best for me. I gotta say, it was a workout. It was a little bit of a workout. In the middle of my set, I was talking about animals fighting each other, and I was like, "What am I doing?" Like my brain's like I had like a Homer Simpson moment. Like, what are you doing? Like my brain was just screaming at me, and just like 2 weeks later at Showtime, I got to do a weekend with him there, and unbelievable. We did really well. So it was good to bounce back. I'm like, I'm not that bad, man. I'm not that bad.
We're actually just in the works of putting together another fundraiser for the Humane Society. We booked the Seneca Theatre downtown Queen Street. So the big, beautiful, renovated theatre. We're going to do one big final live on Queen.
Yeah. The sweaty guy with the flannel? Yeah, don't ask him to come back. No, man, that's amazing. You're gonna do kind of like a live on Queen episode kind of thing.
Yeah, a full bit. We're gonna do a 90-minute episode rather than 40, and do an all-star show. So we got Glenn Foster, that Canadian guy.
Oh my God, Glenn Foster.
Yeah, Monsters of Schlocker coming down.
Wow,
yeah, it's gonna
sounds amazing. Glenn Foster is awesome, and if you don't know who Glenn Foster is, just type his name in Google and you'll see his face. Be like, yep, that Canadian guy. Like it's such a perfect name. You're like, oh, that guy, that Canadian guy. Yeah. Well, because to a Canadian, he's just that guy. Right. But if you're not Canadian, he's that Canadian guy. It's a little bit different. So yeah, man. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, man. I'm keeping this. I get to keep this chair, right?
Yeah, that chair is for you. Perfect. It's been in my family for 80 years. It's amazing.
It was a good run.
Yeah, it was a good run. Someone actually spent a lot of time in their life crafting that.
Well, three cheers to them.
So this is what I mean, man. You're another one of those guys that you just meet him, you're like, this guy's a comedian. He's always on. This fun.
The quantity, not quality.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Dave.
Thanks, buddy.
This was awesome.
We're shaking hands now. You can't see this at home, but we're shaking.
Is that like that's not the sound of a handshake at all?
You need a Foley artist. Is what you need.
Well, thanks a lot, David. I think I'm going to be at Grand Central this upcoming Monday. June 17th and 18th, I'll be at Showtime. And August 6th, they're doing the showcase again. Yes. Are you involved with that at all?
I'll be hosting.
You're going to be hosting it. What's the deal with that? You want to plug that real quick, or like?
Yeah, there's another. We had a local talent showcase a few months ago.
Yeah, how did that go?
And it was rigged. So they found out it was Marc Calogero won it. I don't know. Then they found out there was a scandal. So they're like, no, this wasn't official.
It was a recount. It was like Bush and Gore.
No, took home the glory. Destroyed, killer
Thanks,
set.
Man.
And then it was such a success. Like, it's great to see the community coming out and supporting.
It's one of those shows that you're just like, wow, people really love this stuff, and people really love to support the comics here, and as you should. And like I said, there's just so many great comics in around Southern Ontario. Like, a number of them have to blow up and become huge.
Yeah,
because they're so funny, and you get to be like, wow, I saw that guy in like a little cafe in downtown, Port Colborne one time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's a cool thing to say. Somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks a lot once again, David. I really appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, check out markcali.com for all your Marc Cali needs. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Peace out. Thanks a lot, David. Wow. Take care. Peace.